All right. In 2 days, it'll be Yud Aleph Nisan, the 11th day of the month of Nisan, 123 years ago on that day. Our dear Rebbe, his neshama, his soul, came into this world, into a body. He was born. On that day is a very important day, not just for Hasidim, not just for Jewish people, but for the entire world. As an neshama klali, as an encompassing soul that encompasses all the souls of the Jewish people, emerges into this world and is connected with all souls in a profound, deep way. In a way that we don't really understand, because we don't understand the ways of the righteous, and all the more so we don't understand the ways of a Rebbe, who a Rebbe is infinitely greater than just being righteous. Righteous is just about your own personal greatness, as we will learn more about, as opposed to a Rebbe is an embodiment of the entire people, all of everything, of creation ultimately. Something above and beyond. It's a special day that we connect with the Rebbe. That we connect with the Rebbe. I would suggest a day that write a pan, a pidyon nefesh, asking for blessing for yourself, family, friends, Jewish people in Israel in particular, hostages, and so on, to get blessings. I will be going to the Ohel. I'll be at the Ohel. Can add you, but it's even better that you do it yourself rather than just being added. It's your personal connection to the head of the Jewish people, the Rebbe. And even though it's after Gimel Tammuz, the Rebbe's physical presence is not present, but his neshama, his soul, is very present. His teachings, his followers, embodying his teachings, embodying him, is very present. Welcome to Tanya today. I'm Rabbi Rodney Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zich and Kadeshim in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. We are continuing with chapter 39 and speaking about the various spiritual worlds that souls come from. Our souls come from a lower world, so our spiritual capacity is limited. Our spiritual capacity is limited. That doesn't mean we don't have a big job to do. We do. As a matter of fact, we spoke about it last night in the Pesach Symposium, speaking about Pesach, Passover. We're the ones who are going to bring the final redemption. Absolutely. We have something unique in our souls, as we discussed yesterday. But the root source of our soul is not so lofty as a soul that comes from the world of Bria. World of Bria is the world of divine comprehension. And those are lofty souls. They get it. They comprehend the divine. They get it. Which is pretty, amazing. It actually ties in with what we were speaking about in the morning Hasidic class.
And also the frequency.
Yeah. There, yeah, the frequency. Yes, I told them. Yeah. That which the righteous get is not above, it's here. A different frequency that we're not privy to. We're not so connected. Yeah.
Our radios don't work there.
Right. So there are those who comprehend the divine, those who emotively, naturally connect to the divine, which is us, right? In other words, it's inherent to our makeup, the DNA, and therefore, we are naturally connecting based on the divine soul that we have, the hidden love that that soul has, that emerges that we allow to emerge. But that's a soul that comes to the world of Yetzirah. Today we talk about another kind of soul. This is a truly lofty soul of the great righteous people that come from the world. Their soul comes to the world of Atzilus. Atzilus is not a creation of God. It's an emanation of God. Creation, by definition, means separate, independent. Now, in independence, there are various levels. We come from a very low level, so we feel very much our independence, right? So much so, someone hurts our feelings. Oh, do we really get hurt? Right? You feel it. If you're in your source, you're not going to feel the hurt because you're connected. You're not going to feel the disconnect. No one can make you disconnected. No one can do that. But if you're disconnected, someone can make you really feel disconnected and feel pain or suffering, be a victim, and so on, right? Now, these great souls come from the world of emanation, world of Atzilus. Now, what's unique about that world is that they're beyond intelligence and grasping God with intelligence. Because to grasp God with intelligence means God has to reduce the light, his light, in order that it could be maintained in my mind and I could somewhat grasp something of him. So God has to reduce that light, because if he were not to, we wouldn't be able to accept the light of God the way it is in the world of Atzilus, because it's so much more lofty, so much more sublime. It's not graspable. It's not contracted to be graspable. Exactly. Right. And if God wouldn't contract upon his light, then the souls in that world of Bria, even though they're lofty souls and even righteous souls, wouldn't be. But then you have souls of Atzilus. They don't grasp God because that light is beyond grasp. But they are, and others grasp with their minds, with their intelligence. But they are a complete reflection of God. In Atzilus, souls of Atzilus are what we call a chariot to the divine. All they do is reflect the divine. They're totally nothing for themselves.
When you talk about the righteous, is just Chabad righteous like the Baal Shem Tov and so on and so forth, or it's righteous throughout history?
Throughout history.
Thank you.
Throughout history. So these righteous souls have no sense of self. They just have a sense of being part of their source in the divine, the world of Atzilus, and totally nullified and reflecting only but that source. Beyond understanding, it's not that because they understand and they get it, because the light of God there is beyond understanding. As God is not limited to the understanding, not even divine understanding. God's not understanding, and intelligence is something he creates, but not something he's bound by. So these great righteous people are not limited to knowing God. Not that they don't know God, right? They're not limited in their divine service. That's not their intent. That's not what motivates them. What motivates them is purely self-abnegation, self-nullification, self-effacement, that they are nothing but a vehicle, a chariot for the Ein Sof. That they only are but a reflection of the above. There's no reality, anything but God. The patriarchs were this way. They were a divine chariot throughout their lives, complete state of self-nullification. That's the idea of a chariot. A chariot is ridden by its rider. It has no whim of its own. No whim of its own. These are lofty souls. Very, very. Now, the souls of Bria are also lofty souls, but they're not constantly nullified to the divine like the patriarchs. When they come to the Amida, the prayer, when they bow, right? When they bow,
Bria can be extended into Tzilos at sometimes, you were mentioning, like Rosh Chodesh and.
no, that was Yetzirah into Bria. No,
Okay, thank you.
no. There's no Gan Eden in Atzilus. Gan Eden is a lower revelation of godliness, right?
Creation.
Yeah, it's creation, exactly. So the souls that are from Bria, they sometimes experience when they bow in Shemona Esrei, that they are nullified and become a complete, vehicle for the divine. Absolutely not before him. But that is only, at some point in time, not at all times. These are the lofty souls. Psh, lofty souls.
You'll see one tomorrow or the day after?
Tomorrow we'll continue.
You're going to the Rebbe one?
Okay, any questions? Why did Baal Shem Tov have to wait until a certain age to reveal his holiness to everyone? Because that's what on high was, it was the time that he needed to, right? Remember, he's a reflection of something greater than himself. So this is when he was needed to be revealed. Does Hashem have limitations? If Hashem didn't have limitations, that itself would be a limitation, right? Didn't have. If Hashem didn't incorporate limitations, that would itself be a limitation. Oh, God's not limited. Oh, that means he's limited to not being limited.
Needs us.
So, no, that's not what it means. What it means is God is neither infinite or finite. He's beyond the two, therefore he can reflect himself and be both. Even infinite is a definition and a limitation. Oh, you're infinite. Oh, you mean you can't be finite? Right? So God's neither infinite nor finite. He's beyond the two, and therefore can be found in both. All right. Any other questions here? Frank has a question. Pain, injustice, loneliness, addiction can get us disconnected. Yeah. How about drugs? Does it help us connect and maybe deeper disconnect?
No.
Yeah. Drugs is like fooling you that you feel connected while you're on the drug. And then you get off the drug and you have this, or, you have this coming down, hitting a low point, and you feel so disconnected. The truth is, you were disconnected with using the drug. Because that means the drug had to make you feel connected. Why couldn't your connection to God make you feel connected? Why do you have to have something to bring that about? That, self becomes a question. And the proof is that usually people use drugs, they're not interested to connect to God. They just want to connect to their fantasy, to their, you know, whatever they're thinking God is. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Mitchell. All right. Rambam. The laws of Shabbos. Come and join us. Longing for our place in the past is no. Longing for the future. Mashiach. That's what we want. Right? I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you for Chabad, Tzurich, and Kadeshim, Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have an amazing, great